First off, I'd like to preface this. I'm not going to use any footage from the actual Berserk episode itself. Instead, I will use the promotional video footage and the trailer footage for the Berserk anime of 2016, but I'm not going to actually touch the episode itself. I will use screen caps, but I really want to fight copyright strikes with this one, and I really don't want to take any chances with it. So yeah, the first Berserk episode dropped, and I watched that. I almost couldn't, like, it's one of those things where I didn't go off and read the manga like many people, so I kind of just couldn't resist watching at least the first episode just to get a taste. The episode dropped 20 hours ago on Crunchyroll, and I just watched it now in like 5 in the morning. Haven't even gone to sleep yet, because once I saw that it was on there, I was like, well, shit, I gotta watch that and record that. So I'm super freaking tired, but basically this is first impressions, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it a review because I will be criticizing it. Now, first things first, this was fucking dope, man. It was so cool to see this. I'm not really feeling like the opening songs and the ending songs and the music all together. I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia. So, I miss the old opening and the old ending, so it might just be nostalgia, but they did play they did play one newer track that I really, really liked, but maybe it was just because I was familiar with it, and that's the Blood and Guts song, which was the only original track that I actually noticed inside the entire episode. So we'll see if throughout the series we get like a Forces remix or just Forces in general. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like this was really fucking weird and jarring for me to watch, because on one hand, it's really fucking awesome. The show, for the most part, looks really awesome. But, of course, there's some problems there, too, and I'll get to that in a second. First of all, we start out. Why does Berserk always start out in a fucking bar? Like, or a tavern? Like, when Guts is introduced, like, when he was introduced in the original series, he came into that bar, he wrecked some shit, and then he left. And now he did the exact same thing here too, and it was just really weird to see him come in here and just be like, yo, I'm just passing through, get out of my way or else you'll die. Boom, I kicked your ass, okay, see it, bye. And then some people noticed him and just like, oh man, what a mysterious stranger. Is that the Black Swordsman? Okay, nobody said that, but still, I was just like, okay, yep, alright, that's happening again. But to be honest, it did help. It did help me feel a bit nostalgic there for a second. It was pretty interesting. Now, I'm going to go through a lot of cons here. First of all, this motherfucker. This motherfucker is so annoying. He's one of those things where I'm not really going to say he breaks the anime for me, because he doesn't. I mean, I was expecting this. I haven't read the manga, but I've seen and heard enough to know how much of a game changer and how different Puck would be when he was announced. I don't think they ever said his name actually in this, but still, I mean, it's Puck. And he's so disgusting. He's such a cartoon, but at the same time, it's also kind of funny to, like, see how he juxtaposes against Guts, like the juxtaposition between the two of them, Guts being like just this super serious, super quiet, dark motherfucker, and then it's just like, then there's this asshole. It's like, okay. And on top of that, it's so funny. I always found it funny, like, people never reacted to, like, Guts' name. Like, there's this scene where this guy, he asks Guts' name, and minor spoilers, by the way. I'm gonna actually spoil probably this entire first episode, but he asks Guts' name, and he's just like, "What's your name, bro?" And I'm like, "I'm Guts," and instead he's just like, instead of wondering like, "Oh, that's a weird name," or being like, "Oh, okay," he's just like, "Oh, well, I'm Adolf. This is my daughter. Nice to meet you, Guts. Fancy name, by the way." And I love how nobody reacts to Guts' strange name. I believe it's actually Gatsu, and Japanese, although that could just mean guts. I think that just means guts in Japanese. So that's the thing. That's a thing. And The fucking CGI, man. Like you'll see scenes like when Guts is just walking, like when he's walking in the opening trailer, and it's just like that looks okay, I guess. And you see scenes like this, and it's just like, what the fuck? Ew, God, you look fucking ugly. Like holy shit. And it's just like, holy fucking shit, what is it? What's up with her face? What's going on here? It's just ugly shit. I'm not even lying. I will be honest, like the enemies, like the skeletons that it showed that Guts was fighting, as far as like the basic bitch enemies and this tree thing that appears at the end, those things did look fairly nice. I feel like the monster designs held up pretty well, especially since they're just fodder anyways. I hope fights that happen with like bigger characters like Zod and shit, I hope those fights have a lot more of a 2D aesthetic, but as far as just like skeletons, they serve their purpose. They didn't look too terrible. I guess they were basically just there to get split up. So I understand why the CGI has to be there, but that still doesn't mean I'm going to like it. And on top of that, this anime's 2D aesthetic, when it's using it, it's just so awesome. I have a weird feeling like I'm going to be enjoying this anime more when the quieter stuff is going on, because honestly, it's just like, holy shit, look how well they captured the manga there. Like, look at Guts' face and the sketch lines. It looks like that for a lot of the time, and you can probably pick it up on some of the other screenshots that I showed you. They really did capture that manga aesthetic very nicely, I'm not gonna lie. So 2D animation, definite props. Now, why are we even fucking bothering? Like, I know these guys only had a short part in this, but why are we even bothering with bandits? We know if they even, which they didn't even really get a chance to fight him in the first episode, but we knew if they did get a chance to fight him, why are we even gonna bother? We know who will win. This is literally pointless. This is a waste of time. These guys could have been completely omitted from the episode, because one of them got punched in the face at the beginning, and that's why they were like, now they're after him, and now they're gonna come after him, and it's just like, and they were literally a waste of time. They could have just been completely removed from the episode. And by the way, what the fuck is up with this dude's breastplates? He looks like he has fucking boobs. What is that? What is his armor? That is so ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie. That is just ridiculous. And this little girl gets like possessed by a demon, and she's like, she like throws Guts off for a second because he's like, oh man, I don't want to kill a little girl, and then she stabs him in the stomach, and I'm just sitting there like, fucking kill her, kill the bitch, and then he just like fucking like bitch slaps her with Dragon Slayer, and her body just goes fucking flying, and she's cut in half and shit. And I don't know, maybe I'm morbid, I was just like fucking dying laughing when that happened. I was just like, oh, you suck. But anyways, yeah, overall the episode was pretty fucking dope. I had my quarrels here and there. Don't expect like, like an annual upload of episode reviews. I'm just gonna call them reviews. But it's basically just a first impressions. But I don't know, it's so weird. I don't want to call it a first impression since I'm just talking about the first episode, which I have been talking about for almost 9 minutes already. But yeah, this is pretty fucking dope. I'm a little disappointed with the soundtrack. Like I said, I haven't seen anything from, I believe Susumu Hirasawa is the original composer who made all the brilliant music for the original series. Oh my god. Everything from the song Bailet to Guts' theme to Forces. Oh, Forces. The music was just amazing. And I think he's making like one track for this, and I hope they reuse multiples of his old tracks. I believe Blood and Guts is one of his as well. So I would really like to hear more of his music, and I really hope they tone the CGI down, but at this point I think it's basically set in stone. Anyways, yeah, that was my thoughts on the first episode of Berserk. Of Berserk 2016, I guess I'll call it, because it's still just titled Berserk. Berserk Season 2? Should I call it Season 2? Should people call it... it's basically a second season, right? I'm just going to call it Berserk 2016. Anyways, that was my thoughts on Berserk 2016. Don't expect any more reviews for any more episodes. I don't think that that's something that I'm going to do. I might, who knows? I've been like uploading as frequently as possible, so I guess just more content to talk about would be good with my slowly growing channel here. And anyways, I hope you guys should, by the way, I do hope you guys watch Berserk. Check this out. If you've seen the original anime or if you've seen the trilogy of films, please, please support this. This is awesome. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. I have my quarrels with it, but some of them were kind of quarrels I was expecting to have. Like, I almost kind of knew going in. I wasn't trying to dislike Puck going in. I just kind of knew I probably wouldn't like him. So that's just the problem with me. But anyways, I will see you guys on the next Quest for Anime.